Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Cooley. I'm the Targeted Outreach Director for the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. Thank you for joining our webinar tonight. I do want to give everyone another 2 minutes to get logged on. I know it's always kind of hectic right at night, so please be patient. I'm going to give everyone another 2 minutes to get on, and then we'll get started. Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Cooley. I'm the Targeted Outreach Director for the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. We will be getting started very shortly here. Just want to reconfigure so I could get my video going. Okay. Okay. So again, thank you for joining the webinar. Today's webinar is the Protect Yourself from AI and Crypto Scams in partnership with Assemblywoman Cottie Petrie-Norris. She's been fantastic in helping us get this set up. A lot of really great information, and let's just jump right in and get started. So first slide, a little bit of housekeeping. So right now this webinar is being recorded. We will publish it to our YouTube channel. For the webinar, your cameras and microphones have been turned off. But if you do have any questions, please feel free to submit it into the Q&A feature, and we have a dedicated questions and answer session at the very end where we'll answer your questions. Also, this webinar is for educational purposes. This is not financial advice, but please feel free to share the webinar once we publish it. And finally, if you do want more information, there's a link to our website there. It's dfpi.ca.gov. And the email address for my team, which is the outreach team, is outreach@dfpi.ca.gov. All right, let's jump right into it. First, we have a quick message from Assemblywoman Cottie Petrie-Norris.
Hi, everyone. This is Assemblywoman Cottie Petrie-Norris, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the AI and Crypto Scam webinar hosted by our partners at the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. I want to start by thanking DFPI for hosting this important webinar to help you protect yourself from scammers who are capitalizing on emerging technologies like OpenAI to commit fraud. One of the primary ways that scammers are using AI right now is on social media platforms. By leveraging AI-powered tools, scammers can amplify their reach and create seemingly large followings, which makes them seem legitimate. They use these fake accounts and these fake interactions to give the illusion of credibility and popularity to their scam projects. Scammers are using these accounts to provide phony investment advice, promote fake tokens and initial coin offerings, or offer false high-yield investment opportunities. The goal of today's workshop is to inform you about the most common types of AI-generated fraud that's happening right now, and to equip you with strategies so that you don't fall prey to these schemes. Forewarned is forearmed. So I'm grateful that you are joining us today, and please know My office is here to help.
Okay, that was Assemblywoman Cottie Petrie-Norris. Special thank you for her to helping us put this together. I know it's a very relevant topic, especially nowadays with technology. So who is the DFPI? What do we do? What is our role? Well, the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation, also known as the DFPI, we are California's licensing and regulatory agency of state financial institutions, products, and professionals. We conduct exams to ensure compliance. We review complaints that are submitted to us. We pursue legal actions against those operating illegally or using unlawful, deceptive, or abusive practices. But something else a lot of people don't know is we also provide consumer awareness, consumer financial education presentations throughout the state of California, in person, virtually, as you're right now on a webinar. And really, we try to help consumers get more financially smart, as well as help them prevent them from falling prey to scams and fraud. Okay, jumping right in. What is artificial intelligence, also known as AI? AI is a catch-all term for a concept and technology that performs complex tasks that once required human input. And examples of this include autocorrecting and voice recognition, facial detection and recognition. Chatbots is a form of artificial intelligence. Research and recommended algorithms. So Google search engine is a form of artificial intelligence. Now becoming more mainstream is things like photo generation and video editors. So auto photo creating tools are out there now using artificial intelligence. More prevalent now as well, and emerging and being more prevalent is text, language, and image generators that use artificial intelligence. They usually use a huge database of content to auto-generate responses that kind of mimic human behavior. So how are scammers and fraudsters using AI? Well, because AI is such a new technology, scammers and fraudsters are using it in these examples. So investment scams, and we'll be breaking down some of these and talking more about them. They use AI to mimic human behavior, whether it's through phone calls or chatbots. They use it to steal identity. They also use artificial intelligence to create deepfake photos and videos, and that often leads to creating fake news. And sometimes that can create, they use it to create false confidence in certain things. They also use, as the Assemblywoman had talked about, they use AI to create fake accounts to make, to increase followerships or make it seem that certain content, fake news seems more legitimate if there's a lot of fake accounts following it or liking that content. They're also using AI to do automated attacks with malware. So here to talk a little more about artificial investment scams, we have the DFPI's Senior Enforcement Attorney, Trevor Carroll. Trevor?
Thanks. And the previous slide mentioned investment scams, and it's true. Scammers nowadays are using the buzz around AI to try to scam investors. And one way that we've seen this happen is that investments claim to use AI to make money for investors. Usually a company says that they have some sort of sophisticated AI that can trade crypto on behalf of investors. And if investors send their crypto to the company, then they can use their AI to trade crypto, to make all of the right decisions, and to generate fantastic investment returns for investors. Now, in reality, these are usually scams. So there is no AI and there is no actual trading activity. The AI is just being used as bait to reel in investors. So some of the red flags to pay attention to: first of all, if the investment uses crypto assets at all, you want to approach it with caution. If the premise of the investment is to trade crypto on behalf of investors or if you are depositing or withdrawing funds in crypto, always be careful. Also, investments that seem too good to be true. In most of those cases, they usually are. Investments that are promoted on social media. This is a big red flag. And finally, investments that pay commissions to investors to recruit other investors. If there's any sort of commissions or bonuses that resemble a multi-level marketing scheme, then that's a red flag. Next slide. Now, scammers are also using AI to trick investors. So we've seen this in one case where scammers used AI to create a fake CEO, because there are certain websites where a scammer could go in, type in, copy and paste a script into that website, and the website will produce a video of someone speaking in whatever voice you want them to, in whatever language you want them to, with whatever appearance you want them to have. So this can give investors the sense that there's a real person behind it, and that the person that they're looking at on the screen is in fact the person behind it, the CEO or another executive, when in reality, the people behind it usually like to stay anonymous. So they may use AI to, again, create a fake CEO to build confidence in investors. Next slide.
Thanks, Trevor. Really great information there. And I do want to remind everyone that we do have a dedicated questions and answer session at the very end. Please feel free to submit your questions into the Q&A, Zoom's Q&A function. We will save those questions to the very end. Trevor will be here, so if you do have any questions, we'll answer at the very end. So thanks again, Trevor. So yeah, great information on AI investing scams that are happening right now. Another way that scammers are using AI is mimicking human responses, human behavior. So AI powered bots can be programmed to mimic human behavior, making them more difficult to detect, especially for those individuals who are not very technologically experienced, right? These bots can analyze large amounts of data to determine patterns and generate responses that seem genuine. So some examples of this is voice cloning. I'm going to talk a little more about voice cloning here in a minute, but also texting or messaging chatbots, deep fake photos and videos, right? Videos that, as Trevor said, can mimic humans. And of course, we talked about some publishing fake news and creating fake accounts. So in terms of voice cloning, this is something that we're seeing a little bit more across the nation, a lot, that scammers are using voice cloning tools. And there's a really fantastic CNBC investigative video piece that they did where they showed how easy it is to use a voice cloning tool, an AI voice cloning tool, to grab someone's voice and make it seem as if it's someone that is, someone you might know. So in the video, they were talking to a reporter, and what they did was they took some videos of that reporter off of YouTube. They grabbed her voice and they recorded her voice off the YouTube videos, and they used the AI used her voice to generate a message, which they then used to call her colleague. And then they ended up fooling the colleague to believe that it was actually, the robot who was speaking to the AI that was speaking to them instead of the actual person. So, you know what I'll do? I'll actually share that video with you in the follow-up email I send. It's a fantastic video. It really kind of opens your eyes, and we'll talk about some strategies to avoiding these types of AI scams and AI tools that they use to try and trick you. Okay. Another way they use AI is to, they're using AI they're using AI with malware that can bypass traditional antivirus software. This malware can be used to steal personal data, such as logins, credit card information. So it's something, again, to be aware of. And we'll talk again more about ways to avoid AI attacks, which is in this slide. So one of the things you want to do is consider using two-factor authentication, right? Although maybe you have your email hacked, or maybe you lose your phone, with two-factor authentication, it's harder for scammers, even those using AI, to log into your computer or your different accounts. The other thing you want to consider is regularly change your passwords. They could, something that scammers could use is they could use AI to gather your personal information off social media or other places and try to generate passwords. So if you don't change your passwords regularly, you're vulnerable. Another huge thing is obviously don't click on links in emails or messages. So you might get an email that seems legitimate, whether it's from your bank, it looks like it's for your bank institution, maybe it's an Amazon email or an Amazon text message. Don't click on those links, right? You've probably experienced a lot of that. The other thing you want to do is limit personal information on social media. So whether they're using AI to gather all your personal information to, again, try to crack your passwords, or whether they're trying to use it to mimic human behavior so that they can create some kind of affinity to you. You want to, again, try to limit your personal information so that they cannot target you. And the other thing to consider is using a passphrase for family and friends. And what do I mean by that? Well, again, when we talk about the voice cloning technology, if you create a passphrase for your family and friends, could be anything, just any kind of passphrase like pineapple sushi or something. Whenever you and your family are talking and maybe they're asking you for money, or they're behaving oddly, use the passphrase, right? There's a passphrase challenge and a passphrase answer. And so if they don't get it correctly, then that's a huge red flag. So another thing to consider, another way to beat those voice cloning AI tools. Okay, crypto assets. As if AI was not challenging and threatening enough, and now we're going to talk about crypto assets. So what are crypto assets? The term crypto assets refers to a digital asset which may be a medium of exchange for which generation or ownership records are supported through a blockchain technology. So basically, here are some examples of crypto assets. So things like digital currencies, things like crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum are examples of digital currencies. Non-fungible tokens, also known as NFTs. Most of it is in the form of artwork. Asset-backed tokens, and then tokenized real estate. So tokenized real estate is kind of just like virtual real estate. So all of these are backed by blockchain technology and are considered crypto assets. So you want to be careful with crypto. Crypto does not have the same level of regulation as traditional financial services. So unlike traditional bank accounts, there's no government insurance of your crypto. So there's no it's not backed by the government at all. And so investing or purchasing crypto assets does not guarantee that you'll make money. And if anybody is trying to make that promise that it's a guaranteed return on investing into a crypto, it's a huge red flag. The other thing to really be careful of is no legitimate company will force you to pay for services or products in cryptocurrencies or other crypto assets, right? If someone is calling you to pay for a bill or send money using a cryptocurrency, that is a huge red flag. Again, no legitimate company will force you to pay in crypto. And the reason why scammers do that is because cryptocurrencies or crypto assets are harder to return, they're harder to track. So it's almost, once you pay in cryptocurrency, it's almost very difficult to get it back. The other thing is scammers are using names for their tokens that are very similar to popular cryptocurrencies, in hope that you may not notice or may not realize that those fake tokens aren't actually are associated with the real cryptocurrencies. So instead of Bitcoin, it could be like Bitcon, right? Missing an I, and if you don't recognize that, maybe when you're purchasing cryptocurrencies, you may fall victim to that kind of a scam or fraud. So you want to always look at the crypto assets names carefully, make sure it's the authentic, a real one, and obviously do your research. Do research before investing into or buying crypto assets. So let's talk about some common crypto asset scams. One of the big ones is purchasing or withdrawal fee scams. In this kind of a scheme, scammers promise large profits if an investor provides them with money to purchase crypto assets for them. And then when you, as a consumer, try to withdraw your earnings or get, cash in your crypto assets, scammers say that you need to pay taxes or fees. And this is just another way of trying to get more money out of you. Most of the times there are no returns. They may have not even used your money to buy crypto assets. And really those taxes and fees is just another way that the scammer is trying to get more money out of you. So again, you really want to do your research before using some kind of third party to try to buy crypto assets for you. Another common crypto asset scam is mining scams. So scammers lure consumers to invest money into their crypto mining operation, promising returns. In reality, the scammers they either have no mining equipment at all, or their setups are too small to provide the promised returns. Remember, if it does sound too good to be true, it is likely the case. And you really want to do your research before trying to invest into any kind of crypto mining operation. Okay, another one is rug pulls, also known as a pump and dump. So in this kind of scheme, scammers hype up their crypto asset, it could be a cryptocurrency, to rapidly increase its value. And then once the value of the crypto asset is really high, they sell all their shares. And when the scammer disappears with all of the money, the crypto asset turns out not to be worth anything at all. This was pretty prevalent a while ago. It still exists. So you'll see a lot of this with social media influencers or influencers who have their own cryptocurrency maybe. So again, really want to do your research, make sure that the crypto asset you are buying is legitimate and that the individuals backing it is in there for the long term. It's before you put in a lot of money into it. Here's another one, romance scams. And romance scams, as well as those tech support scams and the virus repair scams, those kind of things are all kind of in this bucket. So in a romance scam, scammers create the feeling of a trusting relationship, and then they claim that they need money or request that their victim sends it to them in the form of a crypto asset. So in reality, these relationships are fake, and the scammer is really just trying to get money out of you. And they're asking for crypto assets. Sometimes they actually ask for what we call it, gift cards. If you do know someone in a romance scam, I know it's very hard. I always tell everyone, you want to rely on your family and friends, right? They're the ones who are closest to you. If you have some kind of virtual relationship online, don't be scared to share it with your friends and family, because they're the ones who are going to be telling you the truth about if you're in a romance scam, or if you know someone in a romance scam. Just be supportive, right? And try to help them see what's going on, especially if they're giving money away. I've heard so many sad stories of people falling for romance scams. And again, huge red flag if you're in some kind of online relationship and then they start asking for money in the form of crypto. Again, the reason they're asking for crypto assets is it's harder to get that money back once you've given it away. Okay, All right, and then we have imposter scams. So in this scheme, scammers contact you pretending to be, some form of a legitimate company, maybe a company you're affiliated with, that you have a bank account with them, maybe you have, maybe it's the crypto exchange you're using, and they claim that your account has something going on with it. They'll ask you for the details of your account. Could be your password. They might even have something texted to you where you have to click on it. So what they're doing is they're using that information that you answer back to log into your own account or change your password, right? So again, they're posing as a legitimate organization. Like, it could be your bank account, if you're buying crypto through your bank account, or it could be any other online trading app. It could be your crypto exchange you're using. They're posing as an individual from one of those organizations, and again, they're trying to get your personal information so that they can log into your account. You want to be very careful. If you ever suspect anyone calling you, asking you for that kind of information, you want to go directly to the website or app that you're using and check your password, maybe change your password, so that individuals can't, again, take control of your accounts and and grab all your crypto. All right, tips to stay safe with crypto assets. A huge one here, you want to do your research, right? Learn more about what you're investing in. If you don't understand the technology, if you do not understand the crypto asset, if it's a legitimate crypto asset, it'll have plenty of information out there talking about the project, talking about what it is and who is backing it. Do your research. Don't just take some social media influencer's word on that the crypto asset is going to go to the moon, and then you end up losing your money. Okay, so do your research. Gather information from more than one resource. So again, don't just rely on Facebook news, or your maybe even a friend telling you about the information. Do your research from multiple sources to learn about what you're investing in. Of course, you never want to share your personal or account information with anyone, especially if they call you or email you or text you. Don't rush into anything. Scammers prey on the fear of missing out, also known as FOMO. They say, oh, this price is going to go to the moon now, you need to buy it low. So a lot of them use that kind of fear of missing out to try to get you to move fast and not think about things, stop, slow down, do your research. So again, don't rush into anything. And finally, check with government agency websites for scam information. That'll be on our next slide. So one of the very first places that you do want to check is the DFPI's Scam Tracker webpage. We launched this webpage to help you all if if you're thinking about investing in the crypto. It is dfpi.ca.gov/crypto scams. Again, we publish a lot of the latest crypto scam information there. You will definitely want to check there before you consider buying into any particular crypto asset. Of course, the Securities and Exchange Commission's Crypto Assets and Cyber Enforcement Actions webpage, also known as the SEC's Cybersecurity Enforcement webpage. Again, the link is there. You want to go there and check to make sure that if you're going to be buying into a crypto asset, maybe if you're looking into using a crypto exchange, you want to make sure that there's not any kind of enforcement actions against them. Another site to check out is the Commodities and Futures Trading Commission's Crypto Assets webpage. Link is right there. And finally, the Federal Trade Commission's Cryptocurrency Consumer Advice webpage. Link is right there. A lot of great resources for you, again, if you're considering getting into crypto, or maybe if you think a particular asset is a crypto scam. All these resources are places that you can go check on it. Okay, another thing I want to share with you is complaints submitted to the DFPI in last year, 2022. So last year, the DFPI received 694 crypto complaints. The number of crypto complaints increased approximately 140%. from the year before. And then about 40% of these complaints relate to some kind of fraud or scam. About 30% of these complaints relate to consumers being unable to withdraw or transfer their funds, their crypto assets, cryptocurrencies. So again, just want to show you what we're observing. You can always submit a complaint to us if you feel like you've been a victim of a crypto scam, or if you have any issues with your crypto exchange or cryptocurrency. Submit a complaint to us. The link will be in the next slide. And then we're also going to talk about what you could do if you think you've been scammed. So one of the things I like people to go, right off the bat, is the usa.gov/where-report-scams. Basically, it's a tool that will walk you through the process. It gives you resources of where you can submit where we could file a complaint, submit your issues. It's again a really fantastic tool. It kind of just walks you through it. It's a really great place to start. Another really great place to start to report your scams and fraud is reportfraud.ftc.gov. So if you've been a victim of identity theft, or if you're experiencing any issues, submit a complaint to the Federal Trade Commission. They do a lot of different things besides helping consumers. They obviously trying to shut down scams, but also trying to get to help consumers get their money back. So for AI scams, one place I really advise you, if you think you've been a victim of an artificial intelligence scam, submit it to the FBI's ic3.gov website. Fantastic website. It's a form. It's a long form, but they're trying to get as much detail as possible. If you've been a victim, or you think you've been a victim of AI scam, submit it to the FBI's website. And you can always submit a complaint to us as well. The dfpi.ca.gov/file-a-complaint. The link is right there. You can submit a complaint to us. And if you think you've been scammed, if you've been a victim of a crypto asset scam, you could always submit a complaint to us as well. It's the same link, dfpi.ca.gov/file-a-complaint. It's with of course, California DFPI, and we will look into it. So looks like we have a couple of questions. It's a Q&A session. I want to remind everyone, if you do have any questions, please submit it into the Zoom Q&A feature. We're going to take a couple of minutes to answer these questions. And I did have a couple of questions emailed to me, so I will answer those questions as well. All right. So first off, let me look really quickly. I'm getting a lot of questions. So yes, first of all, this webinar is being recorded, and we will publish it to our YouTube channel. I will also share all these slides to you. After this webinar, you'll receive a follow. Everyone who registered for this webinar, if they're attending or not, that's fine. Everyone who registered for the webinar will get a follow-up email. It'll have a link to the YouTube video. It will also have the slides attached to the email. So you'll have a copy of it. Okay, question. I got a text from the US Postal Service with a link to track a package, except it wasn't the US Postal Service. How much info can they get if I click on the link? They can get a lot of info. It's very dangerous to click on any links. And we actually see this a lot. Sometimes you might get a text message from Netflix or Amazon or the post office it says, hey, there's something wrong with your account, click this link, or there's something wrong with the package being delivered to you, click this link. Those are very, very obviously phishing, also known as vishing. They're basically trying to get you to click on the link. How much information they could get a lot. I would highly recommend that you change any passwords, especially if you have any passwords saved on your phone. You got a text message from Postal Service. Yeah. If you have any passwords saved on your phone, you want to go through all the accounts and just change the passwords. If you really want to be sure that they don't hack your phone, you could always wipe your phone. It's kind of the nuclear option, I would say, but you could do it. You could actually just wipe your phone, and in other words, just do a factory reset. And then if they installed any kind of malware onto your phone, hopefully that'll get wiped out if you do a factory reset. What they're really trying to do, and it depends on what's going on, but what they're trying to do is oftentimes the link sends you to a website where you have to log in or something, and they're just trying to capture your credentials. But there's also instances where when you click on a link, it downloads some malware to your phone, and now it might be actually tracking what you're doing, right? So if you're putting in passwords or you're texting people, it's recording all that and then sending it back to the person who sent you the text message originally. So it's pretty dangerous. One of the things we always tell people to do is never ever click on a link in an email or a text message, especially if you do not recognize the person. It's pretty dangerous. So hopefully that helps you. Okay. Next question. Of the many reports filed, how many actually resulted in money returned, culprit actually apprehended? So I can't answer this from the federal side, and I don't know enough numbers from the DFPI, but what I will say is submitting a report does a lot of different things, a lot of really good stuff, right? Number one, if you submit a report, even if you didn't fall for it, let's just say you got an email and it's a phishing email of some sort, you could actually submit that email to the FBI's ic3.gov website. They take that information and they take all these reports from consumers, anyone. They take all this information and they compile it. Oftentimes they already have a case that's being built, right? So if it's a scammer, and if it's a scammer in the United States, what they may be doing is developing a case against that person, and your complaint, or if you were scammed, you're just another person that's going to be building this case that the FBI is again building against this particular person. So I don't know the numbers specifically. I couldn't tell you. But I would say, and in fact, this weekend I was at a convention where the FBI talked about mortgage fraud and mortgage scams. They did say that the quicker you submit a complaint, if you feel like you've been scammed or fallen victim to an AI scam, crypto scam, the sooner you submit a complaint, the faster then they can stop funds that you might have sent, or stop this individual. Again, what you're providing them is a piece of the puzzle. So yeah, that's really the most good you could do. At the very least, they're trying to stop other people from falling victim, especially if they can find a trend on how this scammer is communicating with their victims. They might be able to shut down their phone lines, maybe shut down their internet. At the very least, you're helping others to stop them from being scammed as well. But at the best side of the spectrum, it's possible to get restitution. It is possible, and again, the FBI has done it before. So I hope that answers that question. Trevor, who is our DFPI senior enforcement attorney, feel free to weigh in on any of these if you'd like. So next question. I heard of cases where scammers use Zoom to get Face ID from participants. Yes. And Trevor talked a little about this. Yes, it's basically, maybe it's on a Zoom call, maybe it's on YouTube or wherever. They can record your face, your picture, and then they use it to mimic, right? They record your face video and they use AI to generate your face, to make it look like an actual person, right? To look like the actual person itself. Again, when I hear about these type of things, I tell everyone to use a passphrase, right? If you're getting a Zoom call or a FaceTime call with a loved one, but for some reason the video is grainy or they don't seem all there, maybe throw out the pass challenge, right? The passphrase challenge. If they can't answer the passphrase challenge, then that's a huge red flag. And maybe the best thing for you to do is just call them instead of having them call you. So try to contact that person directly, and you might be able to find out. You may find out that that person was again someone was posing as that particular person. So thank you for that question. Okay, next question. I have been receiving numerous requests addressed to residents at my address from Census Bureau. They say if I don't respond, I am breaking the law. They finally sent a large pamphlet to fill out info. Okay, huge red flag. Huge red flag. They are trying to get your personal information, right? The census wrapped up, I want to say, what, 2 years ago? Almost 2 years ago. And they would not be coming back to you to get more information. If you're absolutely unsure, the best thing to do is just to contact the census. Just email them directly and say, hey, I feel like I'm being harassed. What is this information, right? So instead of getting packages and someone calling you saying that they're from the census, just call the census directly. Go to the census website, find the 800 number. They'll probably call you when you're having a conversation with someone who's officially from the census. They'll probably confirm that, yeah, this person or this individual who's contacting you is just trying to collect your personal information. And in fact, the census may want to see, right? The census may want to see this packet that was sent to you, and you could have it sent to them so the census could recognize that this is a new form of scam that scammers are using, right, to try to collect people's information. So great question, thank you. Okay, next question. So should we forward a perceived scam to the FBI website? Yes, if you can, if you have the time. Again, the IC3 form is kind of big. I've done it before. You could just put the very basic information and attach the email, that the phishing email that you received. Again, the IC3, the Internet Crimes Center website for the FBI, they collect all this information and they look at things like where the email came from. Is this an email that they've seen before? If it is something they've seen before, maybe they already know who's doing it, and then they realize that, oh, now they're reaching out to this region, or they've switched tactics, or they're changing things. And again, what it really does is it's helping the FBI, number one, build a case, especially if they already have a case. Number two, it's helping them, it's another piece of the puzzle. So it's helping them track this person down, right? So maybe your email has an IP address, right? Internet protocol address, where the email was sent from. So again, it's all these pieces of puzzles that the FBI needs to help shut down these scams. So yes, feel free to submit to the FBI a perceived scam. Okay, if you do have any other questions, please feel free to submit them. Let me look if there's anything in the chat. Again, yes, transcripts. If you want a transcript of this webinar, just email me. I will email my team, outreach@dfpi.ca.gov. Email my team and I could get you a transcript of this webinar. But after the webinar, I will be sending out a copy of the slides as well as a link to the webinar recording. Okay, I'm going to go to a couple of questions that I received through email. So just bear with me for a minute. Well, this one has some personal information, so I don't think I'll be answering this question. Yeah, that's a good point. This is what I'll do. I will put the email address for my team in the chat. There you go. Please feel free to email us if you do have any questions about webinar, about things you might be experiencing, if you want more presentations like this. And if you do experience any issues, again, email us at outreach@dfpi.ca.gov. So, sorry, I'm looking for this email. I know I received one. It was a pretty long email, and it was just basically talking. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to summarize it. It's a long email. The question is, how can government agencies help regulate and help stop these types of scams, help regulate and help stop these types of scams when they continue to evolve? I will say that the best way for us to get get on top of these scams, whether it's a artificial intelligence scam or whether it is crypto asset scam, is with your information. Again, submitting complaints to us, submitting complaints to the FBI. We need your information to learn about these different scams or what's going on out there, right? We see, for us, we see a little piece of the puzzle, but we can't be everywhere all at once, right? We don't have the resources. So with your partnership, with your help, when you send us complaints, especially if you've either been a victim of a AI scam or a crypto scam, or if you've seen some of that kind of stuff and you report it to us or one of the other federal agencies, it's another piece of the puzzle for us to help, I don't want to say help regulate, but help try to stop others from being scammed, right? To help shut down these kind of scams. Okay. Looks like I have one more. Oh, okay. Nope. I already put my email address up there. Oh, this is a question just came through the chat. Do you see any job posting scams when they collect executive resumes, credentials, contact infos? I saw these company use AI to screen resumes. Yes. So I've seen this one personally, where it's a hiring scam, right? Sometimes they use AI to do this, but basically they may post a job somewhere and then they start asking you for a lot of personal information, especially if you put like your resume, if you submit your resume. Again, on your resume, you don't have to put your address and maybe your phone number if you want, your email address for contact purposes. But usually if what I tell my interns when they're trying to submit resumes is, hey, just put on your resume contact information available upon request, right? And then you have like an email address. And most people will understand, most hiring managers will understand. You don't want to submit a resume out there with your personal information. You do want to talk about work experience, right? Things that you've been, work experience, educational experience, and that's fine. But you don't need to go too deep into the details. And if they're very interested in you, they'll obviously contact you for more information. So yes, I've seen job posting scams. There's a lot of them. And the way to avoid them is twofold. Number one, you could always email the hiring manager. Most times job postings have a hiring manager. Or look into the company. Most job postings are on the company's website, official website. So you can always go to the official website. If it's not there, then that's a huge red flag, right? So yes, thank you. That's a great question, by the way. Okay, I don't have any more questions. I'm gonna check really quickly here. I don't have any more questions. So with that, I just want to do some wrap up here. If you like this webinar, if you want more information, please subscribe to the DFPI's monthly newsletter. There's a link right there, dfpi.ca.gov. We have a monthly newsletter that we publish. It has events that we do, including these monthly financial education webinars. And then it has a lot of really great articles and knowledge that we share with our consumers. It has consumer alerts as well that we publish, things like that. Again, we have a YouTube channel where we publish our webinars. and other things. So, webinars on student loans, financial education, consumer alerts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and that way you can see all the great things that we're doing. And finally, I need your feedback. So please submit, there's a link there, tinyurl.com/DFPI survey 6. I want to know how well I'm doing. Did I talk too fast? Did I talk too slow? Hard to read the slides? Let me know. Take the survey, provide me feedback, good, bad. I really want to improve these for the next webinars. With that, I want to say thank you. Thank you for your time. Again, thank you to Assemblywoman Cottie Petrie-Norris for partnering with us. Thank you to Trevor Carroll for his great information. And thank you for your time. Please take care of each other and take care of yourselves, and have a great night.